Okay, so apparently that last ending I got was not the true ending. I'm gonna try and get it now. You have to hit the guy with the dream nail, hit the Hollow Knight with the dream nail, and it gives you the final boss, the true final boss. That's what I wanted. I guess it's round 3. Oh! I think it's now. Is it now? Oh, there we go. That should be it. So you gotta hit his head. I guess it did give you a pretty clear indication, because the dream stuff was coming out of his head, right? I just didn't notice the first time. So this is the true final boss. Challenge. Dun dun dun. Oh, what the hell is that? The Radiance. Projectile boss? Oh, cool. It's one of these. Oh god! Spears. Wait, what? It doesn't disappear? Oh, I guess I have to dodge with my dash attack. Otherwise, I can't. Oh, okay. Because this ending requires you to actually have that ability. So the boss is actually balanced around that. Holy crap. You know, I was thinking that the Hollow Knight should be doing double damage. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so epic. Holy crap, this is so epic. I love this boss. I'm dead. Damn it. Oh, what the hell? I one-shot it. Okay, I see, I see. So in this ending, Hornet won't die, I'm guessing, because you save her before the Hollow Knight kills her. So I guess that's why it's the true ending. It's the good ending. So I think I got the bad ending, the neutral ending, and this is gonna be the good ending, or the true ending. If I can beat the boss, because that boss is actually really hard. Huh, don't even have to challenge it this time. Bring it on. Oh crap! Oh wow, that was clutch. So I'm guessing this is one of the moth type enemies? This. Oh, what the hell? How do I dodge that? One of the seers, maybe? Related to the seers? The seer, I should say. The one who gives you the dream nail. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. This is actually really hard. I guess I've been wanting a challenge. Damn it! I was saying, I guess I wanted a challenge. Here it is. Got my challenge. Okay, I'm actually gonna change up my charms. What's a good charm? Fury of the Fallen? For damage? Nailmaster's Glory? I still think I'm gonna be spamming a lot. Oh, maybe Steady Body so I don't get bounced around as much? Spell Twister? Actually, increasing the damage of my spells might be good. Shaman Stone? Increase the amount of soul. I don't think this is very useful because I don't have time to use my healing ability. Extra health could be useful too. Maybe I will equip this. And Steady Body. Ah, so the extra health actually does get applied on this boss. That's useful. It's 2 extra, or 1 extra attack. Damn it! Well, there's the 1 extra attack. Oh my god, that one is so annoying! Actually, I could just dash through them, huh? If I have my cooldown. Yeah, I could. Oh my god, these stupid projectile bosses. This is like the ultimate projectile boss. As long as my HP is not in values of 2, that means I can take an extra hit. I mean, essentially I want to have more than 2 HP always, is what I'm trying to say. God damn it. Holy crap, that was a really clutch dodge, as in it missed. I'm actually going to take Quick Focus. I think this is actually going to be more helpful. Because I don't need the 2 extra HP, if I can just heal faster, I guess. What the hell is this? Why is there black stuff below me? And why is it spamming? Is that it? Oh, what the hell? Uh-oh, form 2? Oh god, there's a second form. Wait, is this an escape scene? Oh crap! Holy crap, this is gonna be so hard. Oh my god, this is gonna be so hard. Wow, this boss is actually really, really hard. This is really bad. Okay, I'm at decent health now. These orbs are really hard to dodge on platforms like this. Unless they hit the platforms. I guess that's the strategy with the Colosseum of Fools as well. Against the magic guys. Crap. Oh crap, this is bad. This is really bad. Where is he? What the hell? Orbital strike? Hello? Oh, what the hell? What's that behind me? Those are the other clones. God damn it. Is that it? Die to the darkness. Oh, is that the Hollow Knight? Oh, that's gruesome. Oh, I can attack it. Die, 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 die! See, I am actually evil. When the last boss is like this angelic figure, and you're like this demonic shadow, and you kill it and drag it down into the shadows. Achievement unlocked, dream no more. That's how you can tell you're actually evil. Plot twist. So this actually gets rid of all the corruption. That's Hornet, right? Yeah, so the corruption is completely gone now. Hornet survives. There's no more need for that egg structure to seal the corruption. No! Damn, the main character always sacrifices his life. Not just in games like these, but in games in general, I think there's a lot of games that are like that. But you need to question, was I really alive in the first place? I was just a ghost, a shadow. Alright, credits, number 3. That ending was definitely the best one yet, but I mean, that's expected, right? If it's actually the true ending. It gives you some good closure. First one, it's like no closure, you just kill the guy and that's it. Second one, you kill the guy, but unfortunately Hornet is stuck in there with you, so you can't make the ultimate sacrifice alone, which is what main characters do. But I mean, in the second ending, in the normal ending, neutral ending, you still seal the corruption away inside of you, and you become the next vessel. So it's like a bittersweet ending. And I think Hornet knew what she was getting herself into. She said she didn't want to sacrifice her life, but she would help. That line that she said, that's a good line. It makes you feel bad for her, but also it makes her a badass. Knowing how to do the right thing at the right time. Okay. Well, that's the true ending of Hollow Knight, I guess. There's also there's a bonus ending where it's like a joke ending. I'm probably not going to do that because it's going to take a long time. And I'm already really tight on my schedule, so I'll do my closing statements and then that'll be it for Hollow Knight. Finally closing this book. A very beautiful book. Surprisingly, the story was interesting. It wasn't like one of those save the world. I mean, technically it was save the world, but it was much more subtle, I guess. But I'll leave that for when I do my actual closing statements. Soon TM. Okay, so closing statements. I'm gonna try and keep this short if possible, but knowing me, I'm probably gonna ramble on, like now. But because this playthrough is so long, I want to try and keep it short. People who watch this playthrough in general, I think, will know most of my thoughts already. But, I mean, like, people who didn't watch the playthrough, they probably won't be watching this anyway. But anyway, let's start with the gameplay. The gameplay is really important in all Metroidvanias. Anyone who says otherwise is wrong. Overall, the gameplay in Hollow Knight is really skill-oriented. It's very solid. You and your enemies both have periods of vulnerability, and you have to capitalize on that. Basically, when the enemies are vulnerable, you attack them. When you're vulnerable, you have to figure out a way to dodge. or not put yourself in vulnerable states in the first place. It's very basic game design, but it's very solid. You can't really blame the game for any deaths you have unless it's lag or a bug, but I'll talk about that in a bit. The most interesting thing to note is the healing system. It takes a full second of channeling helplessly to actually heal up 1 HP, and that's a very long time in a game like this. Most enemies don't hit for more than 1 HP, but it's still a challenge. Because unlike Souls games, basically in those games you heal to full when the boss creates an opening, you can't do that in this game. Since your health goes up so slowly, you have to constantly find those openings to heal, or not just get hit in the first place. So even though bosses will never one-shot you in this game, the fact that you can't heal except in very opportune moments is what makes it really interesting, and it adds a little bit of skill to the healing in this game. Also, it's not just when you heal, but where you heal. If you position yourself in a way that's outside of your enemy's attack, or possibly predicting their subsequent attacks to heal yourself more over time, that kind of foresight could actually make or break a fight. But it's not all positive. I did have some issues with the game. The biggest issue I had with the game is probably the fluidity of the combat. The decision to have a knockback on all your attacks is kind of questionable. I know it's a deliberate one because it's something that you can actually utilize as an interesting mechanic in the game, such as knocking back enemies and bouncing on spikes. That's definitely interesting, but getting knocked back yourself is not as interesting. Like when you run to a wall and attack and you get bounced back, that could actually be really bad, and it's kind of unfun. Like, it doesn't really add anything to the game, right? It just makes it so you bounce away from the wall, and it makes it frustrating to actually, proceed sometimes. One example is, let's say, during the Colosseum of Fools, I was killing the flying enemies, right? I couldn't land on the ground. If I mistime my attack at all while I'm jumping upwards, doing the wall kick, and I hit the wall, then I slide downwards, or I drop downwards further, and that just makes it so it's more difficult to actually recover. That kind of thing. Of course, you can argue that that's one of those skill things, but it's needless skill. It's not. You don't need that. That doesn't really define how good you are as a player. It's like, oh, I'm just not going to make this mistake here. That's going to make me a better player. It's not really the case. It's better if you can outplay your enemies and have options to outplay your enemies rather than options of making less mistakes yourself. Finding a weakness in the enemy is better than making up for your own weaknesses in your own character, like innate weaknesses. So that's something that I didn't really like about the game. I'm still quite mixed. I mean, obviously I like bouncing on spikes. It was really fun. Bouncing on those centipedes, there's a lot you can do with it, but I still think it's a little bit mixed for me. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Finally, the last topic of gameplay is going to be exploration. Since exploration is such a major factor in Metroidvanias, this is definitely something to be concerned about. This is going to tie into the story and world building a little bit as well, but basically the game is very slow, even for Metroidvania, and I don't know if that's a good thing. At first, I didn't like how the abilities were separated by so many events, so many areas, so many rooms. Rooms here is referencing to the Metroidvania term for a single zone or block within 2 doors. If you think about Metroid or Castlevania, you can probably make sense of it. It's the blocks in the map. So yeah, in the early portions of the game, I didn't actually like it that much because I always felt like my ability was coming soon, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't get it. I don't actually get a new ability here. But as the game went on, I started to get into the story and the world building a lot more. And after seeing more of the world, I actually enjoyed the pacing a bit more. I wasn't as interested in just raw ability finding compared to actually exploring and learning about the world. It became a lot more interesting. It may not apply to everyone. This definitely isn't something for everyone, but I think it's an interesting approach to slow the pace down and kind of integrate that with the world entirely. And speaking of story, most platformers and Metroidvanias, they have a very simple story. It's like save the world, defeat the boss or bosses, investigate some giant castle or planet, solve the mystery of said castle or planet. It's pretty basic. I mean, it's better than a lot of other genres that are just save the world. But yeah, like this game is still pretty basic. The world building is very good. You learn as you play. you learn as your character learns. That's always a very good thing, because the character is the player's avatar. So I thought the pacing in that sense was excellently done. It's significantly better than the gameplay pacing, but, you know, like I said, once it all comes together, you feel like they actually move forward side by side, and it just feels more fluid in that sense. It also helps that the music, you know, as you can hear, and the art, they were really amazing at building up the atmosphere. But I think my favorite part of the story has to be the colorful cast of characters. It's a lot of C's. All of the bugs were very interesting. They had their own quirks about them that were kind of interesting, but they weren't just like two-dimensional characters which have like one basic personality and then some kind of personality quirk. They had a little more to them that was revealed by the Dream Nail. And, you know, like I said, the story is pretty basic still, but we still got more than what was just on the surface. And, you know, the surface is what most Metroidvanias will give you. This gives you a little bit extra, and that's really nice. On top of that, their actions and interactions, both the good ones and the bad ones, like Zote. God damn it, I hate Zote. But, you know, you love to hate him. This is what added to the liveliness of the world, and even to the mystery of the world sometimes. Some of the characters are very mysterious, like Quirrell. You didn't know who he was, what his purpose was, and I didn't put together the mask on his head being the same as the mask of the teacher. So, you know, like these kinds of things you learn over time, and it becomes more interesting at the very end when everything comes together and it gets revealed to you. Just a side note about how stories work. A lot of good stories, I should say, good stories do this. They introduce something to you, but they don't introduce everything to you. So they introduce one dimension of some element of the story while leaving the other dimension in the shadows. A term for this is a mystery, and as you proceed with the story, the mysteries get revealed. And these mysteries are what keeps the reader or the player or whatever more interested in the game or the novel or whatever it is, the medium. Basically, these mysteries drive you to continue on with the story, and I think that's what really sets Hollow Knight apart from a lot of other Metroidvania stories. If you look at Alwa's Awakening, I played it prior to this. Alwa's Awakening story, I said like one line about it. It's like, oh, the story is very basic. You get summoned to a world, you save the world, you're done, and then cliffhanger ending. It's like, you know, whatever. You're not there for the story if you're playing a Metroidvania usually, but sometimes a Metroidvania does offer you more than just good gameplay, and definitely this game does that. And before I do a conclusion, I want to talk about the bugs in this game. Not the character bugs, but like the actual bugs, as in like problems with the games, issues with the games. The lag issue, I spent about a month in this game. Lag issue still not fixed. Other people still have issues. I don't know what's going on, but somewhere down the line, I seriously hope that they actually fix all the problems. If there's any reason to not get this game, it's definitely those bugs. Stuttering, mainly stuttering. It's just not fun in some of the areas. The Coliseum of Fools is a major one. Deep Nest was another major one, but I think they fixed that for the most part. And what was it? The White Palace? Definitely not fun if you have lag. For me, though, I think most of it was fixed, but I know that there are some people out there who still have issues with it, and it's it's very unfortunate that they have issues still, even after all these patches. It's been what, like 3-4 patches, still not all fixed. I just really hope they step it up and end up fixing it instead of just abandoning it and saying, oh well, the game's released, we've released some patches, if you still have problems with it, too bad. Like, I really hope they don't say that. So for the people who are still having issues with the game, I feel for you. And hopefully things get resolved. And the other thing is difficulty. I don't think this game is that difficult. Even though I died a lot, even though I took a lot of damage, I played kind of recklessly, I still don't think this game is very difficult. But some people do. With that being said, I mean, this is going to tie into my conclusion, but if you're not familiar with Metroidvanias, this is not a good Metroidvania to get started with. It's definitely more leaning towards the Souls side than the Metroid or the Castlevania side. So if you want a more easy game, as in like learning curve is easy, maybe the skill cap is high. Like Super Metroid is a very high skill cap game, but the learning curve is not very high. It's very basic, and it's a good introduction to the genre. Symphony of the Night is another one of those. If you play the game extremely well, the skill cap is very high. I mean, you could just watch speedruns, people doing speedruns of it, people playing like Richter mode or whatever, low percent runs. You can be really, really strong at that game. That is very different from a casual playthrough. But for this game, I mean, for this game, there's a decent skill cap as well, but the entry level is even high for some. I don't agree, but there are people out there who say this, and you might be one of them. If you're one of those people, then this is probably not a good entry game into a Metroidvania. I think that going a little easier is probably better. But if you're already a Metroidvania fan, if you're already a veteran to the genre, then this is definitely something for you. And, I mean, that's like half the conclusion already. Let's see, what else do I need to say? I guess I have to say that this game is one of the best Metroidvanias I've played. I've played a lot of good ones. Sullen Sanctuary was really good from last year. Ori and the Blind Forest, the year before that. Dust, Environmental Station, Alpha. You know, these are some of the ones that are very memorable and, like, very top tier to me. Recent ones that I played, still good. They were good or above average, but they weren't, like, this caliber of good. Like Alwa's Awakening was not this caliber of good, and it also doesn't help that it's very niche, being retro style. This is not as retro style, so it's better for newer players or casual players. Even though I did say it is a little difficult, it seems, for people. But yeah, this is definitely one of the better Metroidvanias out there. So if you really want to experience the raw Metroidvania experience from a more modern title that isn't, you know, one of the classics, this is definitely something for you. This is definitely a good game for you, regardless of your experience. And for only 15 bucks, you're getting at least like 15 to 20 hours of gameplay in a casual playthrough. Mine is 33 hours, almost 34 hours. But I spent a lot of time exploring, even though it's not a completionist run. I only have, as you can see, 89%. But I did spend a lot of time on the Colosseum of Fools. I think about 7-8 hours was on the Colosseum of Fools. But you know, you still get a ton of hours in this game for only 15 bucks. And I always say, even though you can't judge the quality of a game by the price versus time spent alone, it is definitely something to consider, especially because you're the consumer. You got to pay money for it. Value is something you got to look at. This game is very valuable. The value for this game is really good. The previous playthroughs from this year, I said that they were good games, fun games, and they were probably worth your money, but you might want to get them on sale, because you might be questioning the value. I'm not going to say that for this game. And I didn't even get this game for free. I bought this game, didn't get it for free from the developers, not getting paid to say this or anything. This is definitely very, very, very high on the value list. The value tier list. Getting it on sale is a steal if you really want to wait for it to go on sale. But even without a sale, 15 bucks is incredibly worth it for this game. So if you're interested in this game, definitely go for it. And I've been talking for way too long. Damn it. I said I was going to do a short closing statement. Turns out it's not short at all. Sorry about that, but you know, some things just have to be said and I end up rambling. But anyway, that's it for this playthrough. This was Hollow Knight. I'm Ventus. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, like, dislike, I don't actually care. Hopefully I'll just see you next time in the next playthrough. And now I'll be closing the book on Hollow Knight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.